What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Gameplays, and today we are playing Not for Broadcast. This is a British TV video game kind of graphic novel. There's some reading, there's some playing. It's very interesting. Let's just jump into it right now. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, you kind of have to go back. There's a lot of context in this game. It's all about the news. So let's just jump into this right now. It is time to go. Day 154, A Rude Awakening. Whoa, hey. The rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you back slowly to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you're greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family, by your side, a reassuring familiar sight in these new surroundings. You blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and bring everyone into focus. Now, if you weren't here for the last episode, we were attacked by teddy bears. There was a pandemic of teddy bears, and we were attacked in the studio. So this is apparently the follow-up 2 days later. So that's where we're at. Looking up Sam's face. Sam is our wife, partner, whatever. Looking up Sam's face is a mixture of concern and frustration. Things haven't been great between you two lately, and Chris hasn't been helping things. Looming at Sam's shoulder with a sour expression, it's clear there's still no love lost between the two of you. While Sam clearly is worried about you, the family scowl is obvious on both of their faces. You reach out a hand to Sam and say, "Thanks for coming, honey," or "I can't believe I've just woken up to the gruesome twosome." Good God. I'm going to reach out and be sweet. Here's the thing. We've had to make choices in this game, and the choices have led to our partner not being happy with us, mainly because her brother wanted us to do something illegal to help him, and we refused. So that's just where we're at, and I don't know what to say about it. So whatever. I'm going to be sweet. That's just me. The worry for you wins out, and Sam takes your hand before leaning in and kissing your forehead. "Of course, sweetheart. I could never have been anywhere else." Yeah, I'm sure. For the first time in a while, you both genuinely smile at each other before you look at the rest of the family. Just as you feel Susie's absence, you notice Charlie fidgeting, clearly trying not to look worried. See, Susie and Charlie are our kids. So let's try to figure out what's going on, because Susie took a turn for the worse when she got arrested because she'd been dating some boy. And then she got out and did some graffiti or something like this. All right. As soon as you turn and look at him, you can see Charlie tense up, his concern clear on his face. "So, you're definitely good, right?" he finally asks, quickly looking away. "There's nothing to worry about." "Yeah, of course I am, buddy. There's nothing to worry about. Just be sweet." Charlie looks at you and grins, one of those infectious smiles that spreads around the room. It's always good to have him in your corner. Your smile fades as you notice your mother staring listlessly out the window. Despite all of your best efforts, she's not been doing well lately. "Are you okay, Mom?" Your mother starts, your calls clearly shocking her out of her starts. Okay, like wakes up. Again, British English, not used to that. Your calls clearly shocking her out of her reverie. Good Lord. She turns to you and smiles, and you're grateful to see the increasingly rare recognition in her eyes. "Yes, dear, of course. How are you feeling?" You smile warmly and nod, but before you can respond, a doctor bustles in and ushers everyone out. She asks you, for what feels like the 100th time, how you're feeling. "Surprisingly well, all things considered." "No doubt." "Excellent. There's no sign of any real damage. Just a bit of a shock to the old system. Pardon the pun," she smiles. "Not that we'd recommend you do anything like that again, of course. After a couple of days rest at home, you should feel right as rain." She turns to leave, but stops at the door. "Oh, and the private room and care," the doctor gestures to your room, which you now notice looks rather expensive, "has all been paid for by Mr. Bozeman. He left those flowers and said not to worry and take the rest of the week off. He'll see you Monday, apparently." "Wow. Well, that was very nice. Mr. Bozeman is our boss at the newsroom, so that's very good of him, because we were attacked in the newsroom by teddy bears, no less." Huh. Seems like the least he could do. I mean, it does. That's accurate. All right. Day 180, apparently. A burden to bear? Question mark. You come home from a particularly late shift to find the kitchen light still on, which isn't normally a good sign. Everyone's usually in bed by now. Softly opening the kitchen door, you find Sam sat at the table. Bills and papers are strewn in front of them, as well as as well as what looks to be a second pack of biscuits. Man, I always like a second pack of biscuits. They give you a quick kiss, and you take a seat next to them. Well, we're well off, by the way. We're doing okay, so it's not like we can't pay for anything. Sam frowns and holds back and goes back to the bills that they're holding. Hey, sweetheart, just looking at the numbers again? Or again. Statement, not question. They look to the door to the pantry, now converted into your mother's bedroom. Your mother's living in the pantry? We've been doing our best, but I think Cassandra really needs a nurse to look after her now. Suddenly the bills are all you can see. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Fortunately, with the money that's been coming in and what we've been able to save, we've got more than enough to keep going. Sam smiles at you. I know things have been difficult, and the daily care won't be cheap, but she's your mother, and we really have to, don't we? You gratefully smile back. Of course you'll pay for the care that your mother needs. Yeah, of course. I mean, this is the whole point. Things are looking up, so we've just gotten poorer. I love that. Okay. The sword of Damocles. What is happening? Sheathed, at least for the moment. You grab the papers and stuff them into a drawer. This is some, like, Ivy League college, like I went to Hogwarts type speak. You know what I mean? The Sword of Damocles. That's fantastic. Anyway, it's bringing me back to like an old lecture series I must have run into at one point or another. Anyway, it's such a relief to not have to worry about it anymore. Or you just told Sam. Hours later, you're still awake, staring at the ceiling thinking, how long will the money last? Well, as long as the job lasts, if we're going to play like that. I don't know what the family is upset with me for. All I do is go to work and shell out cash. A letter home. Day 201. Sam's out with work tonight, and Charlie's staying at a friend's. The house is yours. Well, where the hell is my daughter? Has nobody talked about this? You order a takeaway, have a couple of drinks, and decide to relax in front of the TV. Not a great selection tonight, but surely something to watch. You feel like a comedy laugh. Sam's not here, but you still can watch a horror movie without them. You just want to switch it off. Action thriller is this way. Yeah. Sam isn't a fan of historical dramas, but you make the most of them being away. Man. I mean, listen. If our wife is not a fan of historical dramas, I'm feeling like the fact that they're gone is a good time now to have a historical drama, right? So, or you know what? Maybe they're going to come home. And you don't want to be running one of that. You know what? I'm overthinking it. Historical drama it is. Genghis Khan was never really something you were interested in, but the drama's not half bad. You even learn a few things. The fact that his real name was Temujin, which is true. Who knew? When it's over, you flick through the channels for something else to watch, but a glint under the coffee table distracts you. You reach down to retrieve a mysterious device, remembering Sam's note as you do. Hey, sweetheart, Charlie lost Susie's present. Would you mind looking for it tonight? Okay. As you hold it closer, you're surprised to find the gift's actually an engraved lighter for Chippy. She claims the nickname's affectionate, but Charlie still scowls every time you say it. Like a chip off the old block type thing. If you're not sure, Sam would approve. Or you're not sure, Sam would approve. The accompanying note from Susie explains, Urkistan has a long tradition of glorifying the art of starting fires. Thought you'd like it. Don't do anything stupid, Suze. Hopefully it's just a souvenir and not a new pastime he's picked up. Or about to pick up. It's nice that she thought of him, though. Urkistan? What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. Maybe she's in Urkistan. Okay, which is not a real country, by the way. Day 32. All right. Day 32 it is. Are we going back to the newsroom? I'm excited. A bit. Day 32, the silence. All right, well, let's turn all these on. There we go. Sorry, I'm a little slow here.
No, it won't be all right, Kath. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound...
I mean it, Kath.
Wow.
Stay where you are, Kath.
Jenny? This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to both of them.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny?
Let's get some,
I'm sorry, Kath, you're gonna have to leave.
let's get some of these loaded up here.
Letting it go to your head.
She nearly blinded me.
10 seconds, everybody.
Oh, why do we have a broken VCR?
Stop being so high and mighty.
They're gonna make us transfer in the middle. That's messed up. I'll forget for sure.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
So how do you feel about the sanctions?
I actually think that with advance in charge we'll be fine. Of course the rest of the world will want us to fail, or it will be their billionaires next. But I trust Julia and Peter.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff. Thanks, Patrick.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognize these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
Hi there, I was wondering if you could spend a moment to give us your thoughts on the government.
Honestly, I think they're doing a great job. I know the assets and wealth checks have made the difference for us with the cost of the little one. And people seem, happier in the main. I always said things would get better with a woman in charge.
A Flard Day's Night. Following the release of the Flardmaster 5000, production of Flards are at an all-time high, requiring the new manufacturing facility in Grizzleford to move to 24-hour-a-day production.
With people finding more and more uses for the ever-versatile Flard, the team at Rivington Cyst certainly have their hands full keeping up with demand.
So, is there anything better than a handful of Flards? We asked Patrick to find out. Patrick?
Could I ask you for your opinion of Flards?
Of what, Pet?
Flards.
What are they?
Flards, like the... Flards, everyone knows what Flards are. Flards, everyone knows what Flards are.
Don't care.
Oh.
Is it some sort of code?
Are you okay?
The delicate sound of thunder. A frightening start for commuters this morning, who were confronted by a somewhat sinister sight as they left their train.
Many travellers reported feeling intimidated by the silent figures who stood motionless outside every major station in the capital. Radical extremist group Disrupt, who organised the show of strength, refused to comment on the meaning of the strange protest.
Or to apologise to this presenter for making him drop his morning beef on surprise.
But how do we feel about these somewhat radical extremists and their upsetting methods? Robin found out.
Can I ask your opinions on Disrupt?
Are those the guys in black with the orange fist thing?
That's right.
Can I be honest?
Of course. This is journalism. Of course.
They scare me a bit.
Feast or famine. Resourceful doctors David Wong and Ingrid Sforsborg and Morgansford today announced their first successful harvest in Dante's Taint. Although they can currently only grow a few fungal strains, the scientists seem to be staying positive, as the following picture shows.
The undauntable scientists chose to try and survive in the cave system while the complex rescue operation inches forward up here on dry land.
Let's hope they like stroganoff.
But with Advance planning to spend an eye-watering amount of public money on the rescue craft, we asked Patrick Bannon to find out what we should all be thinking about the accelerating costs.
What are your thoughts on the costs of the rescue?
Oh my God, Patrick Bannon, wash your mouth out with soap. You can't put a value on human life. You have to spend whatever it takes because one day you might be trapped in an underwater cave system and you would want exactly the same.
I don't think so, actually, because for legal reasons, we're actually not allowed within 31 yards of the coastline.
Wow.
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, rightfully, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards.
Oh yeah, fantastic. I'm applying today. I mean, why wouldn't you? What are these protesters doing? They don't want us to know who their names are. Besides, have you seen the savings you can get? I'm getting one for the little one as well.
Oh, how adorable.
Yeah, gonna be a proper little team member, aren't you? Yes, he smiled. He smiles.
And finally tonight, getting stuck in a shameless attempt at cashing on his bad boy status, shamed celebrity Johnny Hamsleeves announced a new line of real ale at a press conference earlier today.
The new brew, entitled Headbutt Ale in reference to his controversies of last year, promises a night you'll pretend you regret.
Or possibly a night you'll pretend you remember.
So what should we all think of Johnny's latest attempt to market his notoriety? Patrick?
Disgusting.
Wise words there.
Later tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. Tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For Advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
Great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard at Labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay. Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who thinking a big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland then. We have like some of the cleanest mental health care facilities in the continent, yeah.
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah.
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole like boat thing, yeah. But it's actually the Festival of Feuerland here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So like we all had to work our grandparents' Galinia whilst the boat was happening, and that's like a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like a sissy man. You had this expression, sissy man. It's like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. They can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have like serious animal welfare legislation. And, like my friend Helge, she got arrested for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her fuel tank. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker too. Wonder what became of her.
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
Human interest, Jeremy, the real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call. Yeah, let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Crash, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Svenland, we don't really go in for all that restrictive monogamy stuff here. We're kind of flawed, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and power
Possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Beard?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated devices, concepts like money. In Finland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like a really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Votovic.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant mutant hairy bear. But really, he's just standing in field
holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back.
After these messages.
We'll be back.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Thank you for the correction.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
Well, that was interesting.
This is important. New government censorship.
Oh.
Should show up in blue.
Oh.
Same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Oh, that's not good. We don't like that, but okay.
Are you still meant to bow to foreign royalty?
What?
Should I just like curtsy?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
What?
Megan?
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Oh.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
He put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Let's keep
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on the show, the news. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just, it's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government, fuck Advance, fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man, very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah, I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah, you love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still 2 leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes, I don't need your freaky team. And I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise of the crest of the wave. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take his facts, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snubbed ones, the pushed and the shoved ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise of the crest of the waves. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets. Set a fire in the building, let him feel some fucking heat. Take your hate to go getters, no squilling bet letters, and burn them on the pyres of advances fucking letters. Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that clean, you don't need a fucking team. And advances little dances aren't as harmless as it seems. Cause they're stale and corrupt, then your anger erupt. Then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away, we'll be right back after this.
Just a reminder, using that old VCR.
No, this is ridiculous.
Last ad break.
Already did it. Already did it, brother. I'm way ahead of you.
Sure, now if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust me.
leave.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand.
My father. All right, so he was rich to begin with. Gotcha.
This is unbelievable, Megan.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Keeps offering me to replay. I don't feel like this has ever happened before. Is this new, or is this like wait till it's set in stone? I mean, I think we did all right. I'm fine with it. I'm just gonna play through. This segment's got an A. It's not an A+, but it's all right. I'm not upset. That was rough, though. I got to be honest with you. Trying to change the cameras and censor his ass. Oh my gosh.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, shut up, stop it.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy, you remember Mr. Algebra?
Vividly.
And Mr. Harris, and this is Ms. Radin.
What?
Philippa, please.
You're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
I'm honestly a little upset that the guy came in to remind me about this because I was already on it.
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Try.
5, 4,
Weird.
3.
Welcome back, and no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Radin, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did he say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells! Back to the hells!
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show?
Good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
You'll never take the sacred path!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, is actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which, frankly, would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Goodness, and you do this every night?
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaner and my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable. Yes.
Yeah, it is
so much
unbelievable.
for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads.
And we're out.
Reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Oh.
Wow, interesting. All right, let's see how we did. Hey, we got nothing but A's. All right, listen, A+, A+. That's what I'm talking about. That's okay. What do we got over here? You've received a generous bonus. Current wealth, things are still looking up. Sometimes splurging. Okay, listen, I'm okay with this. We gotta take care of our mother. Okay, we got bills at home. We got stuff we gotta do. I think this is all right. I genuinely do. Let's see. Uh-oh, so what's going on here? I'm confused. Help me out. It looks like advance is looking up, but the way the world views us is looking down. That's interesting. We've never had this before. It's only been one. Aha. And the channel loves us, which really, that's what this is all about. Okay? Don't care about advance. I don't care. Although, I love the A with the arrow in the middle. That is good branding. Whoever thought of that? Perfect. And a good way to explain that no matter which political party is in charge, if you get a little bit too radical, you're going to have problems, which is why a centrist approach often works best. In my opinion, just saying. A little bit of this and a little bit of that makes everybody happy. If you're all the way to one side or the other, you're probably going to have issues. So, you know what? Let's hold off on the rushes this time. We're going to get to those in our last episode, but I think we've got at least one more. So listen, I'm going to check in with you guys next week so we can do another episode of Not for Broadcast, this very interesting British video game graphic novel type thing where we learn about the news and wacky politics. So I'm going to check in with you guys next time. I'll see y'all then. Peace.